singers, welcome back to the weekly warm-up. I'm Laura, and I love to share clear, fun voice education to help you enjoy your singing even more. Now, if you are sick, you are probably not enjoying singing much at all. It really is no fun to sing when you're sick, and so today I want to show you some of the things that you can do to help restore your voice and make singing more comfortable as quickly as possible after an illness. So we're going to begin with the sort of bodily health things that I would recommend when you're recovering from illness or losing your voice. The first of those is to hydrate. So just drink water. I talked in a recent video about how tea is not some kind of magic elixir, although the warmth of tea does feel really soothing on your throat. So that actually brings me to the second point, which is if your throat is really sore and raw, the best thing for that would be to gargle with warm salt water. So I have some salt here. You don't need this like fancy salt, but I would recommend using a non-iodized salt. It just seems a little weird to have all that iodine. I don't know, maybe there's no problem with it. But what you'll want to do is just take a glass of warm water, not super hot, warm water, and add salt and dissolve it until it is as salty as seawater. It's pretty salty. And then you're just going to gargle that. And I would do that a couple times a day. And it is amazing how soothing that is for a sore throat. Second, another tiny benefit that tea can give you is inhaling steam. So what I would recommend is rather than just kind of sucking the steam off of a little teacup, why don't you actually use water vapor or steam to properly hydrate and open up your nasal passages, kind of help with some congestion. So I have recommended this a million times. I use a nebulizer. I love this thing. It's portable. It's very easy. I just use these little saline packets. So I open one of those, put it in there, and then I just nebulize 1 packet's worth. Again, like not using iodized salt, I do not use the medicated saline. I just use saline. So it's really almost the same salinity as tears. And so it's not really gonna do anything other than get that water vapor kind of moving in, hydrating the cords, and also kind of lubing things up. So you can do that kind of as many times as you want to. If you don't have one of those, you can simmer a pot of water and put your head over with a towel. Just be very careful. I have a gas stove and it just feels a little nerve-wracking to be leaning over a stove. So you'll want to make sure that you get the pot hot, turn the flame off, keep your face far enough away so you don't scald your skin, and have that towel over so you're just breathing that nice warm steam. If you're very congested, another thing that you might try would be Mucinex. And as I said before, I'm not a doctor. I don't dispense medical advice. What I'm telling you is this is something that I use and a lot of singers use. I take the big ones, the 1200 milligram ones. And what this does is that it just helps to thin out the mucus. So it's easier to kind of move it along. I have never experienced any side effects of any kind, but again, if you are interested, talk to your doctor. Now, those are all the tips that are sort of about general bodily health, sort of feeling better. But when it comes to actual singing, if you have totally lost your voice, or if it is painful to sing, you should not be singing. I know it's really a bummer to cancel performances or cancel rehearsals, but there is an appropriate time to do that. And it is when it is painful or you actually can't get a sound. When you try to make sound and you hear that kind of pop, that is a sign that your cords are too inflamed and it is dangerous to sing. So if you are not at that point, but maybe things sound a little fuzzy or unclear, then what I would recommend, and this will come as no surprise, is straw phonation. So you grab a straw, and if somehow you haven't seen me demonstrate this before, I'll show you now. You want to take your straw and put it in, start with maybe like 1 inch or 2 into the water, not all the way down. And you're just going to sing through on like, ooh, very gently with the straw in the water. So you want to keep that very gentle. Just move up and down through your range. There's no prize for going high or low. And I would recommend doing this 30 seconds to 2 minutes multiple times throughout the day. So let's say you're trying to work your way back toward being able to perform. I would start out by doing this first thing in the morning, before you sing, after you sing, and before bed. So that would be 4 times a day. There's really no limit to how much you can do this. It's super healthy for your voice. And while you've got that straw in the water, it's a good encouragement to keep drinking. So those are my tips for what to do. I don't have any magical sort of like apple cider honey things for you. I have tried those and they didn't really make much of a difference for me. If you want to try them, of course, there's a lot of information out there on the internet, but everything I shared with you today is really sort of tried and true. Saltwater gargling, staying hydrated, thinning out the mucus, using steam or nebulizing, and then straw phonation to start getting the voice back in order. And hopefully those things will set you on the right path toward feeling a little better and singing a little better. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and maybe even subscribe to the newsletter. I'll put information in the description box below. And in the meanwhile, thank you for practicing.